Hi everyone, Trina here. Today I'm going to do a flip through of some Halloween cards that I made. I had my 6-year-old granddaughter along with me and I did all her cutting and so forth, but she did craft along with me, so that was really fun. Anyway, I'm not going to show you how to make them or anything. It's just kind of a flip through for inspiration. So this is a shaker card that we made. Most of the papers and dies and so forth that I used are by recollection. I got them at Michael's. Everything was on sale. There's mine. I didn't put very much foo-foo inside. My granddaughter put a little bit more. That was the one she made. You can see your pumpkin's a little bit off center, but that's okay. So those are our cards. Alright. The next one we made was this mummy, and we used some little Tim Holtz eyeballs on there, and this is hers. She did her own stamping, her own inking. She really enjoyed that. She was excited about getting to do some inking. Alright, the next one we just mostly used some stickers, but we did use some designer paper, again recollections paper. This is hers and mine. In some instances I like hers better. This one, for example, she did her own stamping, her own painting, her own inking. This is mine, and this is hers. I really like her inking. I actually prefer it to mine. Unfortunately, this is kind of what I used to make the tags. It's kind of a slicker cardstock, and she wasn't used to it, so when she was stamping, her stamps slid a little bit, but she'll get the hang of it. And then after we did that, she wanted to make witches and Frankensteins and everything else, so here's mine. We use some washi tape to pretend hold the tags on, but of course it's glued down. And this was hers. Again, I really like her inking on this. And this is my Frankie. We did do quite a bit of embossing. All the stamps are embossed. Of course, I didn't let her use the heat tool because if you've used one, you know it gets really hot. This was hers. She did the stamping, I did the embossing. Again, really slick cardstock there, so her stamp smeared a little bit, but that's okay. She did all her own inking and so forth, so that was hers and mine. Sorry if I'm going off camera. I just got new lighting, new camera. I'm trying to get everything adjusted. It's not really going so well. Now some of these that I'm going to show you are really quite abysmal, but if nothing else, maybe you can draw some inspiration from them. I made this shaker card and I had this idea that I would layer up some craft foam, you know, fun foam, and when I was running it through the die, it smunches and stretches, and I didn't realize. So I just left it like that. I lined up the holes and everything, as you can see, but I decided, you know, I would just leave it like that because I guess it adds a little bit of character. Or if not character, it adds a little bit of me. A little bit of bling there. And there's that one. And then I made this. This is a little flare badge that I made. Some cardstock. I have some 1-inch epoxy. They're adhesive on the back, and so you can pretty much stick them to whatever you want. A little bit of washi tapes there. Down here as well. And these two bits are popped up on a little bit of foam tape. And then these, I saw someone, I can't remember who now, making cards using one sheet of 6x6 paper. And their paper was double-sided. My 6x6 is not double-sided, so I ended up using 2 sheets just to get a little variety in there. And yeah, that stamping didn't turn out really well. Turned out that this paper that I used here seemed to be quite porous, and it was just really absorbing the ink. Anyway, this here cardstock, yeah. Anyway, this cardstock, I ran it through my embosser and then did some ink blending, well, not really blending, just some inking over the top where it protruded. I thought it gave it kind of a neat little effect. And I did 6 or 8 of them, variety of them, using 2 pieces of the pattern paper, 6x6. But of course I did use some plain cardstock for different things. And these little frames, I inked them up and embossed them. Like, I just ran them all in my embossing ink and then just put clear embossing powder over them and then heat set them. And then these little stamp that I have that has a die for it, I just did it on some gold cardstock. Sorry if that's not showing up very well. Still getting used to this. My apologies. Here's another one that I did, very similar. They're all very similar. But I was just trying a variety of shapes, sizes, forms, and I really wish I could remember who I saw do this. I'll try to look it up and link it down in the description if I find it. Okay, here's another one. Again, I wasn't really that wild about these after I did them, but you know, sometimes you just gotta try new things, see how they work out. Another one. And the last one of that experiment there. Okay, and then I have a few more. These are some more that I did with my granddaughter. Unfortunately, her cards are at her house. She didn't bring them back. And again, we used a paper pad. I think this was actually maybe an 8x8 paper pad by recollections that we got at Michael's. A little bit of bling up here. It's just a cut apart that we used to put it across the top. Another one with little cut aparts. Here's another one. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I think you should be able to. I think the camera picks it up, but these bigger cats are holographic. But they're really pretty. And this was actually a square cut apart too, and I just used my large circle die punch and cut that out, and then put it on a couple different scallops, a black one underneath and then a white one, and of course those are popped up. And again, I did the same thing here, but I only used one scallop, but I punched that out with my circle punch. And then these, I'm not crazy about them. Again, I was experimenting. I love, 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 love this paper. I made a flare badge there using a punch out from the paper, if you can see there, mushrooms here. Again, just experimenting. Not really crazy about the way that this card came out, but maybe it'll serve as inspiration and you can do it better. In fact, I'm quite sure you could do it better. But again, I love that paper. I think it's so pretty. And this is the other one that I did using that paper, and that's a cut apart from it. That I really, really love that paper. A couple pieces of designer paper there, and I used some cardstock, of course, to mat things. And this, I went around and inked it just to make it look a little more distressed, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's those. And then I have this card. It's just a glitter bat die cut, and then a die cut here with the white cardstock underneath, and then I did a border cut out there. Happy Halloween. I really wish I had flipped that so the flat side was on the other side, but there it is. And then I kind of went with the same idea here, made it into a shaker card. It does have the glittery bat behind it. I don't know how well you can see it, but a shaker card. And again, with the Happy Halloween, it looks better here with it being flat side in, but in retrospect, I still wish I had done the opposite with the tail on these ends, so I could have the flat side up against the edge of the card. But there's that one. And last but not least, this card I stamped these little creatures here, little critters, and I colored them with colored pencils, and I popped these two up with double foam tape. Sorry about that. Popped these two up with one piece, and then these are flat. But I had to do all the inking in the back, and this is a piece of cardstock that I inked up to make the grass, and then there's an additional piece of cardstock here to make the moon. Most of them I didn't stamp inside. I just figured I'd leave this, you know, leave it blank inside so that people could write whatever they want. I also did some splatters here with a little bit of mica spray. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but I think you can see the shimmer a little bit in the background. Mica spray back there. But anyway, that is the end of my Halloween card flip through. Sorry about the lighting, sorry about going off camera again. This is really an experiment, trying to get used to this new setup now that I've moved, getting this lighting situated and getting the camera situated. Thanks for joining me, and I'm going to be posting a flip through of Christmas cards that I made last year pretty soon. I hope you'll tune in for that. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye bye.